Hey man, we got some more. We got some interesting shit going on, bro. It's dealing with Cassie and all this Diddy situation, bro. Hey man, this shit been actually kind of wicked, bro. We went from thinking Diddy was a freaky horny ass nigga to seeing that Cassie was a freaky ass female. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really changed about Diddy. He's still a freak. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he's still a freak. Hey, he's still with the fuckery. But what we're learning out is this shit may not be as catastrophically tragic as we once thought. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people coming out speaking on the Cassie shit saying that, hey, it didn't look like she was drugged or forced anything. Like she was with it. You know what I'm saying? We finding out a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know they put that many dicks in Cassie. I didn't know. I didn't know. I literally did not know. I didn't know. So, without further ado, we finna check out this Flacco and we finna see what the hell he talking about.
About Diddy on Piers Morgan, Cassie got exposed big time by the gentleman on your left. And the lady they brought to defend Cassie was really incapable of defending her. You know it's bad, like really bad, when at the end of the debate, Piers Morgan is going against Cassie. Now, the debate started off where they're discussing whether or not they believe that Diddy will ultimately be found guilty on the racketeering conspiracy. Diddy is charged with a lot. I don't think anybody in the world thinks that Diddy is about to be found not guilty on every charge. But the most serious charge that carries a life sentence is the racketeering case.
That this is heading from being a sort of open slam dunk shut case for the feds to potentially a sensational acquittal. What is your view of where we are with this?
It can go either way. Good morning, by the way. Here's my position. Without question, they've not proven that there's been any corporation or organization that was organized for the purposes of satisfying P. Diddy's sexual needs. Bad Boy Enterprises was formed, I think, in 1998. And the government's alleging that this RICO statute covers those actions of finding Bad Boy Productions. So I think it was like 50 or 60 platinum albums before Cassie even came on the scene. I think that's a horrible failure by them. I don't know if he's walking on everything, but I can tell you I have real issues with the RICO part of this because it's silly to think that when he founded Sean John Jeans, he was really doing that with the knowledge that someday in the future he would meet Cassandra Ventura, and then lure her into a life of voyeurism and swinging and all of the things that went on it. Understanding that right now his jeopardy, the jeopardy he faces is based upon the horrendous conduct of what he did to that woman in that video. There's no other evidence other than Cassie in this case. And everyone can sit there and wring their hands and say, oh, you know, poor Cassie, and I agree. What he did was horribly wrong. But Cassie also has opened herself up to a little bit of criticism when she says, it's not about the money, but I want $10 million from the Intercontinental Motel, which starts to make it seem like it's about the money. And as these horrific images of the video kind of become not as hot as they were before, you start looking at facts. And you go, wait a minute. He was in charge of her, yet she was cheating with Kid Cudi, who was his former employee. She was cheating with his former trainer. She had her own apartment. She had her own money. And with 8 men on the jury, this case might have been won in jury selection because I'm telling you, from the people I've listened to and the many of the different people who've spoken about this, I think there's some issues about whether or not this is a proper case for a RICO charge. Start to wondering if the only witness you have and the only charges you have is that he beat up that woman, which he certainly did. But I'm going to tell you one thing, the defense is certainly going to tell the jury, please convict my client of every single charge of domestic violence there is. Every one of them. Because there are no charges of domestic violence.
In the eyes of the law, the line between Diddy and Cassie is very thin. It's thinner than you think. Cassie is the one who used her credit card to book these male gigolos. Cassie is the one who paid them cash. Cassie is the one who compensated them for transportation. Cassie engaged in transportation for prostitution. The only reason why the prosecutors isn't charging Cassie as a co-conspirator is because they're trying to paint this narrative in court that Cassie was scared to death of Diddy, that Cassie was so fearful of Diddy that she couldn't possibly use her brain.
And that's what I'm learning, that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? Now, I seen the video when Diddy was like, you know what I'm saying? He was domestic abusing her in the hallway, in the hotel hallway. And apparently he paid the hotel to keep the footage, you know what I'm saying? That right there you can't really explain. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't put your hands on any female, you know what I'm saying? But as far as all these 48-hour fuck dons they was doing, bro, I ain't buying it, bro. I ain't buying it. And then all the male, you got certain male gigolos coming out the woodwork saying, "Oh man," you know what I'm saying? Like giving a different POV of it. It's just painting a different light. It's painting a different light for real. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as again him beating her up, you can't really explain it. That shit trifling regardless. Got to be dealt with, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But as far as he forced you to take 10 dicks in a day, nah, bro, you was with it. You was fucking some dicks without Diddy even involved. You feel me?
That she couldn't possibly consent to doing these things, and that she did it because Diddy was putting fear into her and making her do it. Now, try convincing a jury of 8 men that Cassie wasn't scared enough of Diddy to stop her from cheating, to stop her from talking to other men close to Diddy, to stop her from sneaking and geeking behind Diddy's back. She wasn't scared not to do those things, but she was too scared to tell Diddy, no, I'm not booking these male gigolos with my credit card. You do it. Cut it out. And that's essentially what we're talking about here. We're not talking about, is Diddy a good person? He's not. We're talking about, where does the blame get assigned when we talk about transportation and prostitution? The man who ain't never used a dollar to pay a male gigolo is on trial right now for racketeering and conspiracy and trafficking and other charges, when the person who used her funds to pay them and transport them, that person is being treated as the victim. Good luck convincing a jury pool of 8 men that that's the case.
I appreciate the passion, I do, but he's charged under the White Slave Trafficking Act, which requires that he paid somebody to come out here to have sex. I haven't heard anyone testify or read in any transcript that anyone testified that Sean Combs himself paid anyone. Have you heard that, Pierce?
Pierce interviewed the male gigolo that Cassie was involved with called The Punisher. Pierce is about to break down how his opinion completely changed after interviewing this guy, because the guy really explained that this was consensual, that Cassie really enjoyed herself, that Cassie was the facilitator of this. So this narrative that Cassie was this victim who had no control is completely farce.
I've not heard that any one of
when
these people
we had this character called the Punisher on, who was a male prostitute, and he was actually a very eloquent guy to interview. And he made it crystal clear that over an 18-month period, it was Cassie that did all the negotiating with him and facilitated all the payments. And in fact, Diddy was, a kind of bit part player sitting naked in the corner watching the Punisher having sex with Cassie, who had arranged everything. So I can still see how that could be construed by a skillful lawyer as a form of coercion. But as Bill Maher said at the end, at the end of his show on Friday, when you have somebody like Cassie Ventura and she's talking about her love of freak-offs and can't wait to do them, it is hard, I would imagine, to sit in the jury and think, why would she say that if she didn't actually enjoy them?
That lady, Ariel, is apparently a lawyer who represents a couple of victims that are claiming that Diddy violated them. So she has every incentive to sit up on here and try to make Diddy look like the absolute worst, which Diddy is a horrible human being. Terrible, right? I won't put that past him. He's terrible. But is he a trafficker? Cut it out. Now, this is the same woman, by the way, who was representing a...
Hey, ain't it crazy that 9 days? I can remember, let's say you and your homies got like y'all got some vibes over there in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay out west. Y'all got some vibes in Florida. And you like, I bet, fly, hey, come down here to see me and my niggas. You know what I'm saying? So you can set up 3 vibes. Not on no weird shit, bro. Like, I promise, not on no weird shit. But you can have 3 vibes in Florida. If you talk to them, get cool with them, invite them over to your, you know what I'm saying, put them on a plane. They make it to your city and you fuck them. That's technically considered sex trafficking. That's fucking crazy to me. That's literally crazy. I guess some people didn't abuse the shit, but I don't think that's, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that should be, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't think that should be, like, I can't even find love outside the state. I can't get pussy outside the state. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But I guess people have been abusing this shit. For sure. But
woman
they consider
who
that
was
sex
absolutely lying on Chris Brown, made up this entire story on Chris Brown that wasn't true. And Ariel was defending this lady, right? She was moving forward with this lawsuit until Chris Brown dropped receipts to show that this lady was lying on him the whole time. So Ariel don't have a great track record when it comes to defending victims, because the only victim that I know that she defended, from my limited view of her, is the woman who lied on Chris Brown. Now, Ariel responds to Piers Morgan interviewing the Punisher, where he testified Cassie enjoyed herself, right? She was in control. She was aggressive. Her response to all of this is Cassie couldn't make her own decisions because she was dating a powerful man, taking all accountability away from Cassie as an adult.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
And that's the big difference between, we can talk about...
Well, quickly, Ariel, quickly, and I'll come back to Matthew. on that point?
Yeah, sure. I think the problem here with the question you just asked was the understanding of what being a woman in love with a man would do. So I think a lot of this is being, of course.
Would you have? Well, okay, but let me be direct, Ariel. Let me be direct to you. Let me be direct.
Sure.
I don't know anything about your life. I don't know if you're married, not married, in a relationship with whoever. But let me just ask you: would you arrange for somebody whose name is the Punisher to come and have sex with your partner for money?
If my man was a billionaire who had the influence, the reach, the power of someone like P. Diddy, and he not only is my man, but he is my boss, and he has my life in his hand. And that's what he told me he was into. And that's what he told me he needed from me. How do I not do that?
Doing something you didn't want to do out of love isn't a crime. I shouldn't have to go to jail.
Yeah, that's a bad. You just make horrible decisions. What the fuck? You bitch. What? What the fuck? That's why I'm no accountability. God, no accountability. The fuck do you mean? Like, some of this shit, like, the bitch can do no wrong. Bitches can do no wrong. The fuck, nigga? You decide to you sign off on this. If I got a billionaire bitch and she gets off on seeing dudes get pegged, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaving. Fuck. I'm not staying because she got all this motion and power. If you into niggas getting fucked in that, bitch, you got the wrong man. You hear me? You got the wrong nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Take some accountability, bitch.
For the rest of my life, because we break up and you realize that you was only doing it to make me happy and it wasn't something you want to do. So if you have a threesome with your girl and she only does it because she loves you, and then afterwards she says, I'm not really into girls, I only did it because I love them. Well, guess what? Now that's coercion, right? Now that's trafficking. Now that's violations. Now guess what? You got to go to jail. Cut it out, man. Even Pierce is dumbfounded. Pierce from the UK, so he's not really familiar with the delusion that comes from the demographic in this country, bruh. So she's speaking as if she makes sense, as if a fully grown adult don't have autonomy over themselves, as if they can't make their own decisions, as if saying, no, I'm not doing this would be a crime. But no, her texting and expressing interest, booking it, being excited, saying, yo, when we gonna do this again, asking to do it again. Now, claiming she was only asking to do the free golfs again because she wanted to make him happy and she wasn't consenting and she didn't really want to do it is horrid. And Pierce called her out on that.
Whether or not I like it or don't like it, what choice do I have?
Well,
what choice? Seriously, let's talk about it. What choice does she have? I know a ton of people who tried to go away from Diddy, who tried to leave him, we'll call it, and they were not successful. He blackballed them. He hurt them. He tried to kill them. I mean, it's. I think the thought process of why people are being dense, like they don't understand why she would have done that, being in the position that she was in.
As a man, we can all identify that Diddy is horrible. Diddy is a terrible human being. But be very careful before you start agreeing with women like Ariel, bruh. Think about what she just said. Diddy is known to blackball people, so she didn't have any choice. If she would have left, Diddy would have took away his resources. Diddy would have took away certain things from her. Diddy would have took away her lifestyle. So that's a crime now? That's a crime. Think about it really hard real quick, bruh. If that starts becoming a crime, think about how much trouble a lot of people is in, yo. That girl you were dating who loves to get her hair done by your sister, who loves to try your grandmama peach cobbler, when your breakup, she knows all that is over with. Your sister ain't doing her hair no more. Grandmama ain't giving her no more peach cobbler. You was blackballing that. Well, she can now say, oh, I stayed with him. I continued to do threesomes with him because he was going to blackball me from getting my hair done at my favorite stylist. He was going to blackball me from getting that peach cobbler I love. Once them lines began to get muddy like that, bro, it's over with. So think about it. We can all identify Diddy is a terrible human being. I ain't got no love for Diddy whatsoever, bro. It's F him. But when you start looking at the things they about to put on this man and put him in jail for a lifetime, folks, think about it really hard here, bruh. Think about it really hard here, bruh. If they can do that to him, imagine what they gonna do to you.
So the Punisher told me that she actively enjoyed it, that they had a really good time over 12 months. They met a dozen times. I think. No, I'm sorry. I think it was over. Hang on. It was actually a longer. It was actually a longer period. I think it was over a 2-year period, and they met up to a dozen times. And she was always, according to him, having a perfectly good time.
Hemingway once said, "It's not the big fish you catch, but the people you meet along the way."
And
according to him, did he know whether or not she was drugged? Yeah. I mean, we all know she was not herself. We all know she clearly had to go to rehab for some type of substance
All right,
abuse
let me bring
problem.
Matthew in.
And I think for
Let me
him
bring
to
Matthew
say,
in.
go ahead.
Okay, Matthew. So
Here's the mistake here's the mistake everyone keeps making. That woman who took the stand this month is not the woman we're talking about from 13 years ago. She may be a perfectly spectacular mother, wife, significant other today. The charges go back as whether or not she was calling men up who are the Punisher and say, come over and do what you do, and then paying them. And the correct response, if someone says, hey, I would really like to do A, B, and C, you say, no, thank you. I don't want to have someone do A, B, and C unless you want to do A, B, and C.
See, my whole thing with this shit, and I'm finna get out this video, bro, because I think we kind of figure out what it's about. But her ideology about this whole situation is just be a victim. That's literally what she says. Like, even though you're in a horrible situation, getting out of it sounds like a bitch, so just deal with it. Like, that's damn near what I'm hearing. Like, instead of fight back, live for your morals, your respect, go against the bullshit, you just saying she had no choice. When she clearly had choices. You know what I'm saying? That's the part I don't get. I don't, like, it doesn't, what kind of message is this set for, like, the upcoming bitches? Like, if they get put in a situation like this, because it's just a nigga with money, just go for it. Because you, God forbid, your song don't go #1 again. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Weird shit, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, bro. Let me know what y'all think about this shit below in the comments. Shout out Falaco for putting all this shit together in these clips. I'm really grinding on dropping a video every day. Fuck with me.